So Super Bowl was what, 2 weeks ago? NFL season's come to an end, and the Dallas Cowboys, in their never-ending need for attention,
Mm-hmm.
are winning the offseason, but
Always.
not in a good way.
No.
Not in a good way.
Well, is it ever a good way?
Not very often. So this is a story that ESPN broke. They obtained some documents about a settlement that Jerry Jones, had reached with his cheerleading squad. He paid a $2.4 million settlement to them for apparently no reason, just out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, he's a kind dude. Yeah, that's for sure.
There's nothing to see here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to see here. That's important. So basically, what was alleged that Dallas Cowboys executive, he's in charge of PR, was accused of filming the cheerleaders in the locker room while changing. There's some other little allegations about, what not good guys they are, but essentially that was the thrust, was that this guy was being a creep. And Jones said no, but that guy subsequently retired. Dalrymple retired,
Mm-hmm.
Because one does. And then
As
Jones,
one creep does, yeah. I mean, not creep, just
yeah.
as one does, yeah.
So Jones writes a check for $2.4 million and says there's nothing to see here. I just want to be clear on the quote, because don't want to misquote the man. Yeah. So this is Jerry Jones talking to NBC5 in the DFW area. First of all, the cheerleaders are iconic.
Yes.
A vital part of what our organization is, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
We took allegations very seriously. We immediately began to look-see, which apparently is Dallas speak for an investigation.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, okay.
We immediately get into look-see, an investigation into the situation. I can assure you that had we found that it need be, there would have been firings or there would have been suspensions. As it turns out, in the best interest of our fans, what we decided to do was show the cheerleaders how seriously we took these allegations.
Yeah.
We wanted them to know we are real serious.
Definitely.
So the settlement was the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. I mean, you just give out 2.4 million when you're innocent, right? It's kind of a ridiculous statement, but kind of apt for Jerry Jones. He comes up with ridiculous statements all the time. Yeah, I'm sure he's just shelling out 2.4 because he thinks it's that's good for the Cowboys organization, right?
And it shows how iconic and how seriously they took the allegations.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the thing that has struck me the most out of this. First of all, Goodell came out and said that there was no need for the NFL to investigate because it was a club matter and they've already taken care of it. This is the same Roger Goodell who said of the Washington Commies that
Commies.
That's what their nickname's going to be. It's going to be the Commies, right?
Yeah. Well,
Commanders. No one's going to call them the Commanders, man. They're going to be the Commies. Especially if they're losing, Republicans.
So we got to go get those commies.
Yeah. Okay. So, anywho, Goodell says that with their sexual harassment claims, he doesn't want to see a club
more of them. Yeah.
He doesn't think it's right that they should be able to investigate themselves. How could they do that? Fair. Okay, I buy into that. I agree with him 100%.
Sure.
It doesn't apply to the Cowboys, however. What?
It's a weird phenomenon.
The second thing that truly bothers me is we're talking about the world's richest sports organization. The
Mhm.
Cowboys are the most valuable sports organization in the entire world. In
Yep.
the entire, and
Yep.
it's not close.
Right.
It's not close by
Right.
how much they're above everybody else. So it amazes me, and their fan base is huge too, right? I mean, I grew up. My initial love, what brought me into the NFL, was Roger Staubach. I was a Cowboys fan because we didn't have a team in Indianapolis at the time, and that's what made me fall in love with football was Roger Staubach.
Captain America.
Captain America, America's team. They
Mhm.
were all over the place,
Mhm.
and of course, their cheerleaders, as he said, they are iconic. I mean, they
Well,
were
they're
always.
the first iteration of cheerleaders was the
I mean,
Captain.
everyone associates with if you think about NFL cheerleaders, you're thinking Dallas Cowgirls. If like if you're thinking NBA, it's going to be the Laker girls. It's that kind of thing. They're that
Yeah, yeah.
iconic. But I digress here. So the world's most valuable sports franchise with a huge fan base, and this story's getting no traction, none. ESPN
It's
originated, as I
odd, isn't
said.
it?
Yeah, NBC has put out a few things about it. Sports Illustrated, I sent you the article this morning. Sports Illustrated put out a piece online, a couple paragraphs long, just reiterating what had already been said. And that was on a Sunday. It's important to note. Anyone who follows sports news at all, nothing happens on the weekend.
Yeah, true.
People who are interested in sports aren't watching sports news. They're watching sports because
Right.
that's when it happens, right? So
Right.
if you want to kill a story, you put it out on a Sunday morning because no one's going to watch it,
Yeah.
right? So my point is, it's just crazy to me, given the interest that surely the NFL fan base would have in this story. Why isn't it everywhere? Why isn't it everywhere?
Yeah, that's very odd, isn't it? When you have billions of dollars, it tends to work out in your favor. Look, this is
I
the
think the
dumbest.
NFL, I
What's
don't think the Cowboys have the power to quash a story. I think the NFL does. If they tell their media partners, can we just tamp this down a little
okay?
bit?
Well, you just went into a soliloquy about how they're the most powerful
No,
franchise.
they're the most valuable, not the most powerful.
So
One
powerful,
sport guys can't do shit.
so
The
powerful.
NFL, the NFL can,
Yeah,
but
and
not a,
guess who employs Goodell? Just guess.
yeah. That's my point. So as I told you, in 2017, Jerry Jones, as a member of the compensation committee for Roger Goodell, when they were working out the terms of a contract, he wanted no part of the fat money that they were offering him, which ended up being in the neighborhood of $40 million a year. And he signed through 2024. But Jerry Jones was the one not wanting to do that. He didn't like Goodell and he didn't want to pay him that much. He changed his mind. Goodell signed the contract. Well, there's a lot of talk now that they're looking to extend him again. They'd like to get one more contract done, sign him probably for another 6 years to go to 2030. And then, they can go their ways. He could probably retire at that point.
Sure.
But if he had $40 million a year in 2017, in 2021, especially given the new media contracts that were just signed, he's going to make a whole lot more. And Jerry Jones is still on that compensation committee.
Yeah.
It just smacks of Goodell helping Jones out and telling the media partners, can we just, back burner.
Right. So, yeah, here's the problem. So the crux of the matter is what they're actually doing and what this executive that subsequently retired.
Dalrymple.
Well, dude, come on. You this is like one of those 80s high school movies where you cut the hole in the wall and your spine.
Sure. I don't know how he accomplished this.
I don't either, but it's
yeah, it was Porky's, right? It was Porky's.
He could have been. That makes sense as a movie title.
Yeah.
Ooh. But no, it just you're right. It smacks of they're burying the story like crazy.
Someone's burying it. There's no way. There's no way. There's too much interest.
Yeah. And it's come on, man. We're talking about we just went through the Me Too movement, etc.
Right.
And you're literally spying on naked girls. That's what you're doing.
Like you're 15 years old.
That's what I'm saying. It's smacks of a high school iteration of oh yeah, we gotta cut a hole in the thing. So I just can't believe it because it's so weird. And I understand why the NFL is trying to push it down, but there's no pushing anything down now. There's none.
There is in this case. That's my whole problem. Again, I keep seeing it. You know, I'm a news junkie. I mean, I get notifications about anything happens in sports or whatever. I get this all the time. I mean, my phone is buzzing constantly about everything. It's just amazing to me that I've seen this mentioned 3 times only from major outlets, and no one's picking up on it. No one's running with it, given what you said, the Me Too movement and all that. Going back to your diatribe there, does Dalrymple have no friends who could tell him about this little thing called Pornhub?
Yeah.
I mean, why does he need to? I don't even know what he did. And that's the other thing. We don't know what exactly he did because no one's telling us.
Right.
We have an investigation into this.
We know he did something.
We know he did something. No one's writing a check for over $2.5 million for having done nothing. I don't care.
Not for the good of the franchise or whatever the hell he wants to portray. That's not happening. That's not happening.
How altruistic he is or how iconic they are. No. Come on, it's crap. It's just amazing.
I know they're the biggest franchise. I get it. But come on. You got to put this kind of stuff on Front Street because, first of all, this is beyond the pale of comparison. So we disagree with sexual workplace disagreements and stuff like that. Well, disagreements, but we disagree with that. This is beyond the pale. You're literally spying on somebody,
right?
Without them knowing. That is crazy. That's craziness.
Well, it's crazy creepy. So the allegations coming out of Washington at that time were sexual harassment of women being do this if you want to be promoted kind of thing. You know, classic sexual harassment, which and that needs to be stopped.
Sure.
Here we're talking about direct law breaking, I believe. I mean, this is not sexual harassment. This gets into privacy issues. This is
insane.
Law. Yeah. So I expect, you know, with all the stuff we had last week with Mickelson, all that crap, we had the All-Star game. We had enough stuff going on in sports. I would suspect this week, if this story doesn't take off, we know that the NFL is the one crushing this story because there's just no way this doesn't take off.
Yeah. And just, okay. So the old adage is where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fire here, man.
There's fire. That house is burning. This house is burning, but no one's paying attention.
Right. And no one will. And I don't understand it because we're supposed to be in this woke culture.
Yeah.
Look, there are some things that I say, okay, maybe not go hard on, you know, whatever. You can't be spying on girls in the locker room, man. What are you, crazy? This is insane. This is insane to me.
that's incredibly juvenile, and I guarantee you this: the fire that you smell the smoke from, or see the smoke from, that's on Jerry Jones's pants. His pants are on fire. Okay, because this dude's lying. He is lying.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
The quote you just gave, that settling for 2.4 million. Who's doing that, man?
No one's doing that.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Not some genius businessman.
Not an oil tycoon. That's not happening.
So I think, we'll see. This is February 27th. We'll see going forward.
It's going to get a lot worse. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Is something coming to this story? If nothing comes of this story, guaranteed it's being buried.
Yep.
Right.
So anyway, we just want to talk about it because this shit is crazy. It's crazy, literally. So I think we're done here.
We're done here.